The women are made for pleasure, basically. So everybody likes pleasure. That's how they get sympathy. It's funny how God created the women. Because after creation, God said, "I'm going to create a man and a woman." He said, "Both of them I created." But the first thing He did from the soil was to create a man and then give the breath of life and then give him the instruction: go and continue working, till the ground. I've given you dominion. Everything happened that way. And then the Bible says, after a while, that God now discovered that this man is lonely. Now you are going to say, if God knew He was going to create two, why did He create the other version? This is how it goes. God operates with time, He's time Himself, so He can always figure things out. But when He was to create man, there was a disruption of everything. Listen, most of us don't know the powers we have and we carry, but I know, since God can be scared about men on the Tower of Babel, making that tower to heaven, and He said, they are going to make this tower. If you leave them, we don't even know where heaven is. We're talking about the moon, the sun. Human beings will figure out how to get to heaven. One day we just climb one ladder and then we are in heaven. Yeah. So He said, no, 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 no. Scatter their languages. So if you don't want people to really, unite, scatter their languages, don't let them speak what they understand to each other, then that breaks it. But what that tells me is God created humanity uniquely. But you see, when He created man that was perfect, so to say, he was lonely. That means there is a part that is missing. Guess who resolved that part? He put him to sleep and created a woman. So the features of a woman is what complements a man, is what makes a man lack loneliness. Normally, you're supposed to be lonely. But once a woman appears, it takes away that loneliness. So the whole essence of a man is loneliness, because that's what you are. Everything you do is to work. Until today, the whole thing about a man is what you have. You can be the most beautiful in this world, but if you are broke, you are almost zero. Your words count nothing. But you can be as ugly as anyone, and you have money, you will be celebrated genuinely. People are going to say you are beautiful, actually. That your handsome, I mean to say. So women are the solution to the loneliness in a man's life. And from the day they were created, they have always been resolving that. Even David, when he was dying, so to say, according to the Bible, he was very sick, he couldn't eat and all. What did the Bible say? They said, go get David some virgins, a virgin girl, and let the girl just be playing with him. So rub his head, say, King David. David became well. Simply because men are like jinxed to always be on verge of women. So how do women get sympathy? The larger percentage of where the money is, the larger percentage of where the authority is, the larger percentage of where the power is with the men. So if a man is in power and you're a woman, definitely is going to be lonely. So a woman can come in and resolve that. So they have sympathy naturally from every man. If I'm standing on the road and my wife is standing on the road, my wife will probably get somebody pick her up there in about 5 minutes. If I stand on the road for 2 weeks, I'll find my way, because someone might not even beep the horn, let alone picking me up. So it's a little strange, because men are known to be the fiercely powerful, strong person that can fend for themselves. So nobody really shows pity on them. But for women and children, there is always a pity in between and sympathy. And we all know that they are weaker vessels. So you are thinking, oh, don't let this. Just like when you see a baby is weak, you know that this baby can't do much. But every time you see a man, you know this is a man. You probably be afraid of him, because if you want to pick a man up in the bush, somewhere around maybe one hidden place, you might be thinking he's an armed robber. But if he's a female, you won't think he's an armed robber for weird reasons. Meanwhile, not like a female cannot be an armed robber, but we just naturally feel women are harmless, they are caring, they are better off. So we show that sympathy to them. And don't forget, like I said, they are the origin of pleasure. So basically, everybody looks for something that is pleasurable. And once they see a lady, they kind of like, okay, maybe this one is another food. Just like when you see shawarma or you see pizza or whatever. And that's how people react to them. So they kind of become nicer, because they know there is something you can give in return as a lady, which is the pleasure. For a man, if you carry me, I'll say thank you, sir. That's all. If you say bring your number, well, I'm broke. If I was rich, I would have my car. So what will a rich man with a car do with me that I'm broke? What? I don't know. So there's no value for that. So most people don't even sympathize with people. They can't reap anything. But once you carry a lady, you can still say, "Oh, I want to be your friend. Give me your number," because you know one of these days maybe you start sleeping with her or something, which you term as benefit, because apparently that's pleasure. So that's one of the reasons. So it's like give and take. So most people sympathize with them, because of the pleasure involved, and most people sympathize with children because it makes them look good. If you see a child and they are like, "Oh, where are you going? Oh, yeah, let me carry you. Where's your mother?" People around might probably feel you are nice or you are kind. So people are kinder to children. And like I say, everybody that sees a young child, small child, everybody says, "Oh, fine boy, yeah, fine girl." Even if the girl is not fine, of boy, even if you think this girl is ugly, you still say, "Oh, fine girl," because that's what makes you look nicer. That's what makes you look better. But if you say, "Why is your child ugly?" Everybody will say, "Why would you say a child is ugly?" So the benefit from the child's own when we sympathize with them is because they make us look good. The benefit with the women is that their friendship, their pleasure that takes away loneliness. Most people sympathize with them because of that. But men don't really have anything to give. The only set of men that receive sympathy is those ones that are wealthy. That is strange. Because people know that they can get something from a wealthy man. So they now sympathize. If you're driving on the way and you see Dangote on the way, you don't, no matter where you're going, what are you doing next? You are picking him up next. You know why? Because whoo, this is Dangote. There's an opportunity here. So sympathy is actually undertone of opportunities. And for people who do giveaways and they don't know you, not like they're asking you for anything, they just bless you that way. Yes, they are doing that because they also know that what they call saka is right in there. Because when you give back to the public, when you give back to the community, there is also another benefit of that, another blessings that attach to that. So it is all still under what you gain. So everybody works based on that. That's why rich men, when they have birthday parties or their children are getting married, they can have 1,000 cows, 15, 20, 30 cars of gifts because they know once you give him a car, he's going to recommend you to something or he's going to give you this or help you out with that. And that's why people sympathize more with rich people. But for poor men, average men, your blessings and your sympathy is only with God. You know the funniest thing? God said, is the father of the fatherless and the husband of the widow. So who is now the wife of the widower? You go and fend for yourself. Oh. If you are a man, you're already in soup. You need to be strong. You need to be brainy. You need to be everything so that you can break through. Because the only time you have a chance to enjoy anything is when you have money, plenty of money. And if you have it the wrong way, you have just went into more soup. You need to have money in the right way. That's when you can receive sympathy. That's the only sympathy you can get in this world. Every other thing, labor, hustle, but that hustle will pay. I think that's the only prayer I can pray for you. Like your hustle will pay. And then hopefully it will pay.